Hello, imagine getting exclusive access to the heart of a shadowed empire where no outsider has gone before. Today, we have such an opportunity. We're heading to Colombia during the cocaine wars, but our guide is not a Secret Service agent, but a woman who was in the thick of it. Virginia Vallejo is a TV star, a journalist, and a lover of the most wanted criminal on the planet, Pablo Escobar. Her diaries and memoirs are the basis of our in-depth retelling of the film Loving Pablo. Be ready to see not only loud explosions and chases, but also the seamy side of the drug lord's power. Lavish parties, secret conspiracies, unimaginable amounts of money, and paralyzing fear. We are going to reveal Pablo's duality, who was a builder of houses for the poor and an assassin of ministers, a loving father and the one who declared total war on his own country. Are you ready to look behind the scenes of a legend? Then let's begin. Colombia, 1981. The symbol of incredible wealth, the Hacienda Nápoles Ranch stands amid lush greenery and exotic animals. Here, in this luxurious mansion, which looks like a palace, Pablo Escobar lives with his devoted wife, Maria Victoria Henao, and their children. Tonight, there is going to be a big party. Virginia Vallejo arrives on a charter flight, but her landing is overshadowed by fear. The plane lands in the middle of nowhere, and she is immediately surrounded by men armed to the teeth. Virginia's heart is pounding. Is it a kidnapping? However, this is only the security protocol of the king. At the party, she sees the clear hierarchy of Escobar's universe. The soldiers, the stern executors of the master's will, providing security and doing the dirty work, are at the bottom. The cream are above them. They are the artists whose works decorate the walls, businessmen looking for profit, football players who are the national idols, journalists like Virginia, and beautiful models. Virginia is amazed by the scale of the party, but is also puzzled by the question, how has this man, who came from the lower classes, made a fantastic fortune in just a few years? Later, as a part of her professional work, Virginia interviews Pablo. The setting, which is a garbage dump on the outskirts of Medellin, is a contrast to the luxury of Nápoles. The subject is the social project. He is building housing for the poorest. The camera records the result, 600 modest but clean apartments built on his orders. But Virginia notices more than these buildings. She sees the attitudes. The locals look at Pablo with awe, as if he were a king or a messiah. For them, he is Robin Hood, who took from the rich, albeit on a global scale, and gave them a roof over their heads. This image of the benefactor of the poor is a key part of his myth and protection in Colombia. Sparks fly between the journalist and the drug lord, but Virginia is married. Her husband is a famous plastic surgeon who doesn't want a divorce, preferring freedom and young mistress. Anyway, Pablo is not used to waiting. Soon, Virginia's husband, who is kidnapped from the operating room, signs divorce papers at gunpoint. Freed from the bonds of marriage, Virginia allows herself to be lured to Pablo's private island, where their passion finally finds closure. Pablo is not just a rich man, he is the architect of the criminal world. And thanks to their unique intimacy, Virginia gains incredible access. She is present at a secret congress at the Henao estate. The Narcoleones, the kings of the cocaine business, are meeting here. Virginia is the only journalist to set foot in this room. The atmosphere is a mixture of a business meeting and a council of mafia families. Here, the fate of markets is decided. Pablo and the Medellin cartel settle Florida, the main gateway for supplies on themselves. Their competitors from the Cali cartel get New York. Virginia watches Pablo, being confident and powerful, dictating the terms. His power hypnotizes and frightens her at the same time. This is the moment of absolute triumph for his business model. So how does this empire work? It's 1982. Planes loaded with cocaine illegally cross the airspace and land not at airports, but right on the deserted highways of Florida. So-called cocaine cowboys, who are Pablo's pilots, masterfully perform these risky landings. In a matter of minutes, the cargo is loaded onto the trucks waiting nearby, and the plane disappears before the police arrive. The economy is astounding. A kilo of pure cocaine in Colombia costs $7,000. Pablo adds lactose, which is a cheap filler, increasing the volume to 3 kilograms. This cocktail is sold in the US for $150,000. The profit is astonishing, but this flow does not go unnoticed. US President Ronald Reagan, seeing that 80% of cocaine in the States comes from Colombia, declares the war on drugs. A determined and cold-blooded DEA agent named Shepard, based on a real-life agent, Javier Peña, is sent to the front lines of this war. His mission is to destroy the Medellin cartel and its king. The government of Colombia, paralyzed by the murders of judges committed by the cartel, puts forward an idea that is deadly for Pablo: to extradite the drug lords to the United States. There they will face real jail terms. Pablo understands that this is the end. His answer is brilliant and cynical: to infiltrate the government itself and destroy the threat from within. Money is his weapon. He sets a clear tariff. A seat in Congress costs 10 million pesos. A senator's seat, 50 million pesos. The presidency, a whole billion pesos. The cartel finances both main political forces. Whoever wins, they are bought. The only guarantee is one thing: the cancellation of the extradition treaty. Meanwhile, there is a problem in his personal life. Maria Victoria demands a breakup with Virginia. Pablo swears to his wife,
I promise, right now, it is over now.
but his passion is stronger. That's why their secret meetings with the journalist continue. The plan works.
Pablo Escobar Gaviria.
In 1982, Pablo Escobar, a drug lord, becomes a congressman of Colombia. As a sign of triumph, he sends Virginia with a suitcase of cash to Miami to buy new clothes for her show. But Shepard is waiting for her there. He meets Virginia in the hotel lobby. His message is harsh. The U.S. is not so much concerned about the flow of drugs, although this is the official reason, as the colossal outflow of cash dollars, which is undermining the financial system. He reveals that he knows about her connection with Escobar. While Virginia is thinking over the meeting, a drama is unfolding in Colombia. The Minister of Justice, who does not recognize the drug deputy, initiates the deprivation of Pablo's mandate and immunity. At the meeting, Pablo counterattacks, accusing the minister of corruption and promising evidence. Maria Victoria, feeling the impending threat, begs her husband to leave politics. The minister strikes back, publicly accusing Pablo of killing police officers. Pablo demonstrates his justice. He executes the guilty mercenary who spent the money but did not carry out the order in the most brutal manner as a lesson for others. This is the point of no return. Pablo mobilizes the entire cartel. Everyone contributes 10 million pesos to the revenge fund. A death company is created. Sicarios, the children of the slums, trained to kill, are hired to carry out the sentence. Their motivation is simple. The death fee will provide their family with more than they will earn in a lifetime. The government's response is immediate. They officially declare war on the drug mafia. The pressure becomes unbearable. In 1984, the cartel leaders flee to Panama, turning its banks into storage facilities for their billions. Colombia, bleeding, tries to negotiate. The former president negotiates in Panama. Pablo makes a stunning offer on behalf of the cartels. They will completely pay off Colombia's foreign debt of $12 billion and will start transferring 80% of the income to the country's budget. In exchange, they ask for a complete amnesty and a ban on extradition forever. It's a chance for Colombia to get out of its debt trap, but under the pressure from the U.S., the government rejects the deal. The war flares up again. The cartels declare terror against the police.
For every dead cop, I will pay $2,000. Every sergeant, I will pay $5,000. Every captain, $20,000. Every major, $50,000.
The authorities create a special unit to hunt Pablo. Shepard seeks the right to act directly in Colombia. Virginia loses everything as she is fired from TV. Shepard meets her in Colombia and offers her protection in exchange for cooperation. Frightened, she begs Pablo to let her go. But Pablo is immersed in his own problems and demonstrates moral degradation. His harem is replenished with girls from the slums who were sold to him by their parents for pennies. This vicious practice becomes a trap. The offended relatives and those who know the girls become informants. The hunt for Escobar becomes more intense. While he is hiding, the Cali cartel is gaining ground in Florida, and his own empire is collapsing. His closest associates are killed one after another. By 1989, Pablo has become a hunted animal. Having lost his strongest men, being in despair, Pablo declares total war on Colombia.
That's why I declare full-out war on the government and the political establishment.
Resulting in bombings all over Bogota and a crashing of a passenger plane.
An Avianca plane exploded in mid-flight.
The country is horrified and begs the government to give in. Shepard uses the chaos to sanction U.S. military operations in Colombia. In 1991, Pablo uses a trick. He surrenders, but only to go to his prison, a luxurious estate, La Catedral, with a football field, a bar, and a jacuzzi. From here, he even runs a business and introduces an ecological tax of 20% for the territories under his control versus Cali's 5%. Virginia, down and out and persecuted in Miami, loss of contracts, sale of house, house, moved to the slums, comes to him, asking for protection and $80,000 to escape to Europe. Pablo cruelly pushes her away, calling her a whore. His imprisonment ends in a scandal. He kills 2 of his own people right in the prison. When authorities try to transfer him to a real jail, he escapes. The government creates the search bloc, Bloc de Búsqueda, recruiting his enemies who are drug dealers with immunity. A merciless hunt begins. Everyone connected to Pablo is killed. Virginia miraculously survives the attack. She contacts Shepard, reporting key information. She tells that Pablo is trying to take the family to Germany. As soon as they leave, there will be a new war. Shepard obtains a ban on their entry to Germany. The family is sent back to Bogotá and used as bait. Crushed by grief, Pablo calls his wife. The call is traced. On December the 2nd, 1993, the search block surrounds the house in Medellin. Pablo, talking on the phone with his son, tries to escape through the roof. There, bullets catch up with him. Virginia gives evidence only after his death. Pablo Escobar is gone, leaving behind a world torn apart by contrasts. A benefactor of the poor and a bloody terrorist, a loving family man and a ruthless killer. His story is an eternal lesson of the price of unbridled power, corruption, and ambition. But there is also another truth, the blind and unconditional love of his family. His mother still sees him as an angel of beneficence. His wife, Maria Victoria, son Juan Pablo, Sebastian Marroquin, and daughter Manuela, who have started their lives with clean sheet of paper far from Colombia, remain faithful to the memory of their husband and father, denying his crimes. Their fate is the last contrast in the story of a man who was everything and nothing, who was a king and an outcast, a demon and for some, a real hero. His story reminds us that demons are not born in a vacuum, but at the intersection of poverty, corruption, and an insatiable thirst for greatness. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the dark corridors of power and fall.